It's 2 a.m. when Laura bolts upright in bed. The sound echoes through the baby monitor, a frantic, desperate scratching, then crying. Olivia's crying. Laura runs down the hallway, her heart pounding in her chest. She throws open the nursery door. Hunter, their loyal German shepherd, is clawing at the wall beside the crib. His paws move frantically, obsessively. Dust falls from the plaster like snow. "Hunter, stop!" The dog whips his head toward her. His eyes, they're different, wild, panicked. And then he turns back and scratches harder. The wall cracks. A strange, metallic odor floods the room, thick, choking, wrong. Laura gasps. Her throat burns. She grabs a blanket, covers Olivia's face, and starts coughing violently. Hunter barks sharp, urgent, pushing against her legs, forcing her toward the door. What was hidden inside that wall could have killed the entire family, but only the dog knew. Before we continue, where are you watching from? Let me take you back 3 weeks. Laura was a young mother, exhausted, running on coffee and adrenaline. 6-month-old Olivia was finally sleeping through most nights. Her husband Evan worked the night shift at the hospital, so Laura handled bedtime alone. And then there was Hunter, 4 years old, 75 pounds of calm, obedient German shepherd, the kind of dog who waited patiently for commands, never jumped on guests, never barked without reason, until the nursery renovation was finished. They'd repainted, new carpet, fresh curtains with little moons and stars. Everything was perfect. But Hunter wouldn't leave that room. At first, Laura thought it was sweet. He'd stand guard beside the crib, his eyes scanning the walls, his nose twitching. Then he started staring at the right wall. Always the right wall. He'd sniff it, press his nose against the paint, sniff again. Laura laughed. "It's just paint drying, silly dog." But Hunter didn't stop. He'd sit there for hours, motionless, just watching. Then came the low growls, deep in his chest, barely audible, but constant. Laura tried distracting him with toys, treats, walks. Nothing worked. The moment they returned home, Hunter went straight back to the nursery, straight back to that wall. Evan shrugged it off. Maybe there's a mouse in there, or wiring he can hear. But something in Laura's gut twisted uncomfortably, because Hunter wasn't just curious, he was afraid. The scratching begins. It started small. One night, Laura heard a soft scraping sound on the monitor. She went to check. Hunter was scratching the wall, gently, methodically, like he was trying to dig through. "Hunter, no! Bad dog!" He stopped, looked at her with those deep brown eyes, and the moment she left the room, he started again. Every single night. Laura scolded him, put him outside the nursery, but he'd whine at the door until she let him back in. And then Olivia started waking up, screaming. Not fussing, screaming. Something she'd never done before. And here's the strange part. Hunter always reached her first. Before Laura could even swing her legs out of bed, Hunter was there, nudging Olivia's hand with his nose, standing between the crib and that wall, protecting her. But from what? The baby gets sick. Olivia developed a cough. At first, Laura blamed teething, then allergies, then dry air. The pediatrician found nothing wrong, but the coughing only happened in the nursery. Olivia's eyes would water, her little chest would heave, and she'd cry desperate, breathless cries that made Laura's heart crack. Hunter became more aggressive. He dragged Olivia's blanket out into the hallway. He blocked Laura from putting the baby in the crib, his body a wall of fur and muscle. He slept on the floor between the crib and the right wall, his head always facing that same spot. Laura grew frustrated. "Hunter, move!" But he wouldn't. Evan tried reasoning with her. "He's acting protective. Dogs do this. Maybe he hears something we don't." Laura snapped. "He's stressing out the baby." But deep down, she knew Hunter had never acted like this before. Something was wrong. The night everything changed. It was a Tuesday. Laura had just put Olivia down. The baby was fussy, coughing more than usual. Hunter was already in the room, staring at the wall. Laura left. An hour later, she heard it. Scratching. Violent, frantic scratching. Then whining. Loud, desperate whining. Then barking. Laura ran. Hunter was clawing at the wall like a wild animal. His paws moved so fast they blurred. Plaster dust covered his fur. "Hunter, stop it!" He didn't stop. He turned to her, barked once sharp and commanding, and went back to clawing. And then she saw it. He was trying to pull the crib away from the wall. His teeth clamped around the wooden leg, pulling, dragging. "Hunter, what are you?" Crack. A thin line split down the wall. A faint hiss filled the air. And then the smell hit her. Metallic? Chemical? Wrong. Laura's eyes started burning immediately. Her throat closed. She gasped for air and couldn't find it. Olivia's cries turned into choking, gasping coughs. Hunter barked sharp, urgent, and pushed his body against Laura's legs, forcing her toward the door. She grabbed Olivia and ran. Laura stumbled outside, clutching Olivia to her chest. Her vision blurred. Her lungs screamed. Evan pulled into the driveway just as she collapsed onto the lawn. "Call 911, she choked out. Within minutes, fire trucks surrounded the house. Firefighters in masks entered the nursery. They emerged grim-faced. One of them approached Laura, still cradling Olivia on the grass. "Ma'am, you need to hear this." Behind the nursery wall was a gas pipe, cracked, corroded, actively leaking. Carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, trapped in the insulation, building pressure, seeping slowly into the nursery. The firefighter's voice was steady, but his eyes weren't. "Your baby's room had the highest concentration. Another night, maybe 2, and you might not have woken up." Laura's knees gave out. Evan caught her, and Hunter, loyal, desperate Hunter, sat beside them, panting, his paws still covered in plaster dust. Why Hunter knew first. The firefighter explained. Dogs can detect gases and chemicals long before humans. Their sense of smell is 10,000 times more sensitive. The irritation to Hunter's nose caused panic. He tried to dig the danger out. He tried to move the crib away from the source. Everything Hunter did suddenly made sense. The staring, the sniffing, the scratching, the growling, dragging the blanket, blocking the crib, refusing to leave. It wasn't bad behavior. It was desperation. Laura remembered Olivia coughing, remembered Hunter barking, remembered scolding him, locking him out, calling him a bad dog. And all along, he was trying to save them. Tears streamed down her face as she buried her hands in Hunter's fur. "You knew," she whispered. "You knew the whole time." Hunter licked her cheek. The nursery was gutted. The gas line repaired. Carbon monoxide detectors installed in every room. Olivia slept in Laura and Evan's room for 2 weeks while contractors finished the work. And Hunter? Hunter became Olivia's official guardian. He slept beside her crib every night, not out of fear anymore, out of love. One evening, Laura sat on the floor beside him. She ran her fingers through his fur, her voice thick with emotion. "You didn't just save my baby, Hunter. You saved all of us." Hunter rested his head on Olivia's lap. The baby grabbed his ear and giggled, the first real laugh she'd had in days. Laura smiled through her tears. Sometimes danger hides where we least expect it, in the walls we paint, in the rooms we call safe, and sometimes the ones we scold are the ones trying to save us. Fade out.